everyone and welcome back to my channel. So if you've been following me recently, you'll know that we went away with Alfresco Holidays because I was working with them to produce some content for them in return for our stay, and one of the videos that I really wanted to do was an in-depth review including like a lodge tour, which you'll find in this video, and just generally my thoughts, what you get, what the area is like, that kind of thing, because personally when I'm looking for a holiday that's what I will look for online. So hopefully this video will be really helpful. I'm going to break it up into little different sections so it should be easy to follow, and yeah, without any further ado, let's begin. So firstly, if you haven't heard of Alfresco Holidays before, let me fill you in on who they are and what they do. They are essentially a luxury camping brand, and what that means is that they have different mobile homes and lodges around different campsites in Europe, including France, which is where we stayed. They have some in Croatia, they have some in Spain and Italy, and so on and so forth. And having stayed in one of those lodges for a week, I can say that they are really quite fantastic, but more on that in a little bit, because what I do want to add is that the Alfresco Holidays team are fantastic as well. I've been working with one of the ladies behind the scenes organising this holiday who's been really helpful, and then the on-site team where we were staying were amazing as well. But that's who Alfresco are. Now on to where we stayed and how we got there. So we stayed at the campsite Saint Avit Loisirs, which is near Le Bouge, and the nearest airport is actually Bergerac, and we had a really good experience of travel actually, because we flew from Manchester and that took us about an hour and a half to get there, which was fantastic with 3 small children. If you don't know about me and my family, I have a almost 7-year-old now, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and we flew with Jet2, and the journey was a doddle, to be honest. You just need lots of snacks and that helps a lot, and like little bits of entertainment, but it was really quite straightforward. Now the Bergerac airport is tiny, so you do need to bear that in mind, that there's not loads and loads of facilities available. Obviously there is like a toilet and that kind of thing, and there are a few vending machines, but once we did arrive at Bergerac, the weather was fantastic and we went to go and get our hire car. Now again, I'm used to holidays where a lot of people get on coaches and you get dropped off at your different resort and there are different stop-offs along the way, whereas this was quite different. I didn't see any coaches during my time there at all, and most people seemed to be either getting taxis to wherever they were staying or getting a rental car. Given where Saint Avit Loisirs is actually based, I would really recommend that you get a hire car rather than get a taxi there, because you may find that you're quite isolated in that area, because it is out in the countryside, which is fantastic. It's stunning, it's nice and quiet, the scenery is beautiful, but the payoff for that is that you are quite far away from other amenities and restaurants and things like that. So we really found our hire car useful. There's loads of different brands that you can rent from there. They've all got a different stall and you can book in advance. So we went with Enterprise, for example, and they were great with finding us car seats that we could hire as well, and the car all round was fantastic. You just need to get used to driving on the opposite side of the road. So the journey from the airport to Saint Avit Loisirs was about, I would say, about 35 to 40 minutes dependent on traffic. That said, traffic is quite minimal. It's a very quiet area. It didn't take us too long at all, and because we had our own car we could go at our pace and we didn't have to stop off for anybody else, so that was quite convenient. Once we arrived, we were met by David, who is one of the campsite managers for Alfresco Holidays at Saint Avit Loisirs, and he showed us to our lodge, and our lodge, it was absolutely beautiful. It was in really good condition, nice and clean. Everything seemed really new. We had baby and toddler packs that we'd chosen to get, and laundry packs as well, so we didn't need to bring like personal towels or anything like that, and the bedding was then supplied for us through that, so that was really handy. I just made up the beds really quickly and then we were off for the week to explore and enjoy ourselves. Another touch that I really liked was that they left 2 beers and a big bottle of water in the fridge for us when we got there, which was just, after a long day traveling with 3 kids, was amazing. So what I'm going to do now in this next bit is insert a little lodge tour so you can see what our lodge was like and what was included, so it gives you a real feel for what it's like living in one of the Alfresco holiday lodges. So without any further ado, here it is. So this is what our lodge looks like from the outside, and we have a Verdi lodge and it is number W42 in this plot if you were wondering, and you can see we have a fantastic outdoor area, place for our rental car, which I would definitely advise getting if you've never visited this area before, because I do think it's quite key to getting out and about and exploring. And yeah, I'm going to give you a bit of a tour. All of this area at the front is ours so the kids can play, and it's just been fantastic so far. Before I get on to the rest of the tour, you must accept my apology for any background noise, but this is a proper family review and you are going to hear children in the background. So this is our lounger area. So this actually comes with what we've got, and you can sit out here and relax in the sunshine if you want to. I will say that there are lots of trees above us, so you don't get tons and tons of sunshine, but if you did want to read a book or relax, then they are pretty perfect for that. And then up here is our decking area, and one thing you'll notice here is that it comes with a barbecue, which is a gas barbecue, really simple to use and so handy to have as an added extra. Now this outdoor space is probably my most favourite part of our lodge. I just think it's fantastic. So there's two sides to it. I'll show you this one first. You get a lovely large table outside to eat your meals and that kind of thing, and there are 6 chairs, and we also got the baby and toddler pack, so we've got a high chair here as well. It's an IKEA one actually. We have this one at home, so we know how to use it, and it's fantastic and comes well recommended by me anyway. And then over here is just loads of space for you to be able to dry all of your bits and bobs while you're here, because there's a fantastic swimming area, like pool area, splash park. It's great. And the lodge comes with a few of these areas actually. We've just got this big one out here and it fits everything on that we need. And then over in the corner here are some of our inflatables, but you'll see that there are some more areas available as well. So if you need a little bit extra space to hang things up, then you've got the option if you need it. And then over here is where I very much like to sit in the evening with a glass of wine and read my book when the kids are in bed. I just think this is fantastic as a parent, because I've been on holidays before in hotels and we have a tiny balcony. Sometimes it's off the kids' bedroom and not ours, so we can't stay out there that long anyway. Whereas this, I feel like the kids are in bed. Mark and I have been able to play like card games and Rummy Cub and Uno and that kind of thing because we're saddos. But we love it, and really comfortable as well. We've brought a blanket out actually because the lodge comes with blankets, just because it's been a bit cooler the past couple of days. But as you can see, the sun is well and truly out today. But this is just fantastic, really handy. And as you can see here, there's still space for our double buggy that we brought with us. There's loads and loads of space actually, so you can see that the kids can have a good play as and when they want to. One thing I would recommend is that the local on-site shop sells these citronella candles. You will probably be needing one of those in the evening when it's warm, because there are lots of like bugs and mosquitoes and that kind of thing around, and it just keeps them at bay a little bit more. You can also get matches at the shop as well. So now I'm going to take you inside and show you what everything is like in there. So this is what it looks like when you come in. Say hi, Bill. Hi. Bill is just chilling inside while the other two are playing outside with Mark. But this is the general view. As you'll see, the first thing you see when you come in really is an indoor eating area if you need it. We've needed this while it's been raining the past couple of days. Really good size, really easy to eat on, clean, that kind of thing. And then over here to the left is a massive storage unit in here. So we have things from like clothes and bags and that kind of thing. We're keeping our sun cream up there and hair dryers, but it's been really handy. And then this little cupboard here we have actually decided to use as shoe storage, just to keep everything out of the way, which has been really useful because you do get on top of each other no matter where you stay. Then when you come here, you also get all of the general information, so park information, what to expect when things open, when things close, numbers to ring, your checkout procedure, that kind of thing, which has been really handy because when you are new to an area, I feel like this kind of stuff is quite invaluable really. And there is a takeaway on site, as you can see here, a shop, there's a restaurant, pool area is amazing, and then there's also a bar, so it's really well equipped and it served us really well. Our lodge actually comes with 2 fans, so we've got this one here and then we have another one here which we have needed to use on the warmer days. There isn't any air conditioning that we can see anyway. I'd be very embarrassed if there were and we missed it, but I don't think there is, and these have been useful on the really warm days. There are also heaters in most of the rooms as well, so you can warm up, which we've needed to do because we had the most fantastic thunderstorm while we were here. Now over here is like a nice corner sofa area, and then there's a little coffee table there. We've been storing the kids' toys on there actually, so they know where they are. Bill likes this area very much for playing his Nintendo DS. Then we've got some shelves here, so we've got a few books up there, that kind of thing, so they're really useful for extra storage if you want to keep anything out of the reach of little ones. And then you can see we've got a nice big window there, and this is the kitchen area, which is absolutely fantastic. We've got this little area here with a cupboard with loads of little bits and bobs that you might need for, you know, prepping food. We've been cooking while we're here because it does save us money and it's quite convenient sometimes. And as you can see, there's lots of plastic bits and bobs there for kids, which is just really handy because it means you don't have to bring anything of your own if you don't want to. And yeah, they're the usual IKEA bits which I've recognised and we have at home actually. Then over here you'll see that we have a microwave, and we've also got a kettle which will come in really useful. And then up here we have a toaster and a coffee maker as well. So we haven't actually managed to use that yet, but I might actually dig it out at some point this week before we leave, because I am missing my coffee at the moment. But it's so handy because you've got everything that you need and it's just super convenient. Then down here, one of my favourite additions, because who wants to wash up when they're on holiday, is a dishwasher. So we've got it part loaded from breakfast this morning, and the team here very kindly provided us with dishwasher tablets as well, although I did bring my own, so we've got extra if we need them. Then when you come in, you'll be provided with a washcloth and then also some cleaning fluid just to wipe down surfaces, which we were really pleased with, although we have had to buy our own hand wash, which was really inexpensive at the on-site shop, just because obviously you want to keep your hands nice and clean, don't you? Then over here is the boiler. We've not had any issues with it so far, so I've not really even played with that at all. And then you'll see that we have a hob. There's no oven, but to be honest, we've not missed it. And then we've got wine glasses up there. We've got normal glasses down here. You've got your extractor fan with the light and that kind of thing. And then up here are some mugs and bowls for breakfast and that kind of stuff. And then up at the top here above the fridge we have some plates. You get small plates and large plates, and then we just use this for extra storage, like extra bottles of water, bananas, bread and croissants, that kind of thing. Then you have like a little safety notice here and like information of where to go in the event of an emergency. And then inside is your freezer, so we've stocked it up with ice and ice creams because it just saves you money. If you don't want to have to buy like ice cream when you're out and about all the time, you can always come back here and grab one, and it's handy to have. The kids really enjoy that. After like we've had a busy day, they come back and have an ice cream, so that's good. And then we have a large and very clean, I might add, fridge which we've stocked up with water, veg, snacks, yogurts, butter, lots and lots of cheese. And yeah, it's been really useful. You can adjust the temperature as well, so that's been quite handy. And yeah, just everything that you need really. And then in this cupboard here, or drawer here, sorry, you've got the usual like things that you'll need for cooking, knives and forks, that kind of thing. Potato masher, slotted spoon, large spoon, serving spoon, bottle opener, very important, and various knives, a can opener, scissors, that kind of thing. So really useful, everything that I've needed anyway, and I do like to cook. And then at the bottom here is where we're keeping like lots of snacks, and then there's pots and pans as well. And then in here there was actually a chopping board which we've used, so it's in the dishwasher at the moment. And then down here you've got a cheese grater. Then here moves on to the kids' bedrooms and a toilet, but I'll also show you this shelving here which we found really handy. We've got some swimming bits on here that are nice and dry, just to keep them like ready to grab. We've got a shelf here for like hats, and then like some swim nappies, and then all the kids' books are on here. We always bring a few books with us and colouring bits, just because these are at their level so they can grab them as and when they need to. And yeah, I found that really useful actually. But I will take you into this room first, and this is where Stanley is staying. Now, as I mentioned, we had the baby and toddler pack as part of our stay here with Alfresco, and we have a cot here. This is a red kite one which we've actually used several times before in different places while we've stayed with kids, and it's fantastic, really easy to put up and down. And we were also supplied with some bed sheets with that as well, so we've lined his bed. We've bought a few bits for him anyway from home, just like, you know, home comforts really. But it also came with a baby bath, which if you need you can use. Daisy's actually been putting her babies to sleep in this today, but we're using it for now as a place to store like nappies usually. And then we also got, I don't know if you can can see because the sunshine is so bright, but there's a changing mat there, which has been really, really handy. And we just use this spare bed here for changing. As you can see, underneath that is where the other mattress is, and then this is actually a 2-bedroom, which is like the other kids' room. But yeah, it's been really useful to have this extra space just to get him ready and changed. And as you can see, there is a wardrobe here, there's functioning lights, there is a little heater in here for when it gets cool, and then these 2 cubes here are actually storage, and the shelves are really handy as well. So we've got his dummies up there, and then this one's empty because we don't need it, and then this one has got all of his clothes in. But yeah, it's just really handy because given how compact everything is, there is still loads of storage. And as you can see, he has the view out of his window there. Now, one thing I really want to show you while I'm here is that I think these are fantastic. If you look on the windows here, the window's obviously open, but if you pull this one up, this has like a mesh, like mosquito guard, insect guard. So if you do need to open the windows at night, you can do, and this is just a little bit of extra security. But then this, every parent's dream, is a blackout blind, and it has been fantastic with the kids. They've been having some brilliant lying, and I had no idea that that even existed, and it was just a fantastic addition as a mum. And then, as I mentioned before, this is his wardrobe, which we just put things in for now. There's some extra chairs in there if you need them, and then that is the packaging from his travel cart. Then in this door here, it's actually the kids' toilet. We've been calling it the kids' toilet, but we all use the same ones. There's like 2 in this lodge, and it's just a very basic toilet with, you've got a toilet brush, you've got a shelf there's a window, and then there are also like a mop and a brush for cleaning up as you go. Really, really easy, nice and close to the kids' bedroom, nice and clean as well when we got here. And then finally is Bill and Daisy's room. Excuse their clothes because I've laid them out for the day because we're still in pyjamas at the moment, but very, very similar to Stanley's next door with the same storage. You've got another wardrobe here, it's got the same blinds on there, which is just fantastic. As I mentioned before, with the toddler and baby pack, we got a bed guard as well, which has just been really handy just in case, because if Daisy is a bit disorientated at night because it's somewhere new, at least we know she's not going to fall out. And they have loved sharing a room together. They read books together at night. Bill reads to Daisy, and it's just been really, really sweet, and they've had a lovely time. So yeah, this is more than ample. We've had plenty of storage for the both of them, and again, they've got a lovely view outside their window as well. Then over here is our side of the lodge, and a very happy Bill playing away. Now through this door is just our bedroom really, and then there's like an ensuite, which is really handy. We weren't expecting that at all. So this is our room. As you can see, it is quite compact, but we've not had any problems with it at all. The bedding, you pay for bedding packs, so if you want to bring your own bedding, you can do. Obviously a lot of people will drive to France and they will bring a lot of things that they need, and then will stay for a longer period of time. But for us to minimise on packing and that kind of thing, we have the bedding sets all ready for us. Really, really handy, really easy to make up. And then the lodge also comes with these blankets, so if it does get a bit cooler, then you can grab one to sit outside or grab one at night. So that's what we've done. You have a little storage nook either side of the bed, and like a port to charge your phone, that kind of thing, and a reading light, which is handy. We have the same storage again above our bed, which we've not actually needed to use because we've got a wardrobe area over here. So there's like shelves, and then there's also an area here like a wardrobe, so you can hang things up, as you can see, and then there's extra space on top if you need it. And we have the same blinds, which are fantastic because it keeps this room nice and dark. When the sun rises in the morning, you're not woken up too early or anything like that, and it's done us really, really well. And then where I'm actually standing is our little ensuite. So again, we have a window in here, and then there's a toilet, a vanity area here with a sink. So under here I have makeup and jewellery and that kind of thing, and then loads of toiletries. It's just been really handy to keep it all out of sight and keep everything nice and tidy. And then we have this mirror here with Mark's bits and my bits, and then a really, really lovely shower. Actually, everything's really nice and clean. So that's the shower, works really well. The water pressure is fantastic, so it's not one of those dribbly ones that never really gets you that clean. It's really, really good actually. And again, there is a bath mat at the bottom. One thing I will mention is that the lodge comes with toilet roll in each of the toilets, but once you've run out you will need to purchase that yourself. So we have done that from the local shop. And we actually keep it in here, which is just off the sofa. So we've got toilet roll and kitchen roll there, and this is just an extra bit of storage, which is really, really handy. But yeah, that is a tour of our birdie lodge, and I hope you liked it. I'm gonna go and play with this one now. So before I wrap up this video, I just wanted to touch on a few things that I thought were worthwhile mentioning. The first of which are shops and where you can get your groceries and things like that. Now, Saint Avit Loisirs does have an on-site shop, which is fantastic. It's really useful for various bits and bobs that you need, but it is quite basic, and a lot of these shops can be a little bit pricier than other shops elsewhere because it's kind of how they make their money, and I think we're all aware of that by now. So that's fantastic. It was great for croissants in the morning and French sticks. Like, we had a lot of bread and pastry while we were on this holiday, but it was fantastic for that. The shop also sells a few inflatables, which is really handy because the on-site splash park is amazing. It's so good. Absolutely brilliant, and there is a ride there that you can go down on inflatable dinghies, so it's always worthwhile picking one of them up so you can enjoy that. As for the splash park itself, there is a splash area for toddlers and babies with a smaller pool, and there are some rides and slides and that kind of thing, and then up a level is a larger pool area where there's 3 different pools and some more rides as well. We actually made good use of both areas, and there is actually also an indoor pool as well for days where it's a bit cooler or it rains, which we did use because on one day we had a thunderstorm, which was fantastic to see, but it was great to have that facility available so we could still entertain the kids. Speaking of entertaining the kids, if you do get a hire car, I would definitely recommend visiting La Bouge because it's a fantastic place. It's very quaint, it's beautiful. The river Lavazir is absolutely stunning and worth a stroll down if you have the time. And then there are also a few, like, I guess, tourist areas that are worth a visit as well. One of them is Parc Le Bornat, which we went to, which is modelled on a 20th century French village, and there are old fairground rides. You can buy like homemade jam, you can go for a meal, there are animals, you can see sheepdogs herding sheep and geese, and it's just a fantastic experience. We had a lovely day there. Also right nearby to there is a aquarium, which is brilliant. It's really good. We actually picked up a leaflet at Saint Avit Loisirs at the reception, and we were able to use that to be able to feed the beavers that they have there for free. So that was fantastic. It was available to anyone, you just had to pick it up. So we paid our entry fee and then we handed that in as well, and we got to feed the beavers, which was an amazing experience. And then next door to that is also a labyrinth, and it's a prehistoric labyrinth where you go around and you follow a caveman and you work out clues to get out to the other side. We were a bit dubious because obviously our children were quite young, but we loved it. It was so good. So I will leave links to the various places that we visited down below just in case you do visit and you want to entertain your kids as well. There is also a jungle mini golf nearby there as well, and it's just a fantastic place to visit just for a stroll, to visit some restaurants, that kind of thing. Really worthwhile. One thing that we did find quite tricky while we were there was just the fact that there wasn't a lot of English speakers, and that's to be expected obviously because we're in a different country and English isn't their predominant language. But just be aware when you go out that a lot of the menus are going to be in French, a lot of the people that you're speaking to are going to be speaking French, and I guess I am more used to tourist areas or different resorts that I've been to before, but it was a great learning curve, and I did remember some of the French that I learned while I was at school. But one thing that I would recommend is downloading the Google Translate app, because you can use that to translate menus, so if you're trying to decide what you want to eat, then it's a little bit easier to do so with that. There is also an on-site bar at Saint Avit Loisirs, as well as like a canteen kind of fast food area, and then also a more fine dining restaurant. I have to say, I thought the food was okay. I'm really into my food. It wasn't bad, it wasn't like amazing, it was just, you know, it was food. The fast food area did like pizzas that you could take away back to your lodge. They did like chips, burgers, they did omelettes, paninis, that kind of thing, what you would really expect. And then the main restaurant offered mainly traditional French cuisine, so there was foie gras, for example, because that was local to the area that we were in at the time, and you know, you got to just try something new. But we did appreciate being able to either cook for ourselves, which was a handy part of having a lodge because there were loads of different facilities available, and also having the hire car made that easy as well because we had a bit more choice that way. Another thing to finally consider with the campsite itself is that some areas are slightly more tricky than others to get to if you do have a buggy. So if for example, you also have a disability, some areas just take a little bit longer to get round to. So the splash park, you have to go around the whole of the resort, like the main area, and then it's down the back, but that can be quite steep, so it's always worth like bearing that in mind and asking the team when you're thinking of booking just about what kind of facilities they have available for you. For example, the indoor swimming pool did have an accessibility area around the back, but the gate was often locked, so we weren't sure how we could get through there with a buggy, so we had to carry our buggy downstairs, and that wasn't always so easy when we had 2 other small children. But on the whole, we thought that Saint Avit Loisirs was absolutely fantastic. The weather was so-so. We had some hot days, we had thunderstorms, we had days in the middle that were just all right, but we did have such a lovely time, and it's really opened up my eyes in terms of what you can get versus your standard hotel room. Because what we found in the past with young children, once the kids go to bed when we're on holiday, we can either sit on the balcony if we can access it from our bedroom, but sometimes we can't. So we can't really sit out on the balcony and have a drink or play like card game or that kind of thing. It just depends on where you're staying. Whereas where we were, we had a lot more space. The kids were free to like play outside and play inside. We didn't get all on top of each other, which we really liked. And I just found the transfer, the area, the flight were just fantastic. So I really hope this video was useful. If you have any further questions, then do feel free to list them down below and I will try and get back to you as soon as I can. But thank you so much to Alfresco Holidays for working with me. We had a lovely stay and I'm really grateful that you asked, and thank you to all of you for watching this video and for supporting me as well. Hope you have a lovely day whatever you're up to, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye!